Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking 30 years of marketing genius from entrepreneur Simon Squibb and boiling it down into 5 powerful minutes. Forget about big budgets. We're going to break down how you can get your message out to the world for free.
So Simon Squibb kicks things off with this huge promise. But look, this is way more than just a free course. It's him throwing down the gauntlet, challenging this whole idea that you need deep pockets to make a real impact. It totally sets the stage for a different way of thinking.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Except in this case, it's the $0 question. The answer isn't about finding a coupon for cheaper ads. No, it's a complete mindset shift, a philosophy built on creating genuine value, not just throwing cash at a problem.
All right, let's get right into it. What is this big secret? Well, Simon's core idea is pretty simple. Great marketing isn't about who shouts the loudest. It's about giving so much away, building such real connections that people actually want to hear what you have to say.
So, this is the mental flip you have to make. Stop thinking about your marketing budget as money you pour into Facebook's pocket. Instead, think of it as an investment you make directly into your audience by creating things that help them, by solving their problems, by building a real community. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? How do you get seen when you don't have a budget? Well, the first pillar of this whole thing is what Simon calls hustle marketing. Now listen, this is not just about working hard. It's about being clever, being creative, and yeah, being a little relentless. It's the art of spotting those marketing opportunities that everybody else just walks right by. It definitely takes some guts, but man, the results can be huge. And he breaks this down into 2 honestly brilliant tactics. First is ubiquity. He printed 400,000 stickers. And the genius part? At first, they didn't even have a website on them, just a name. It created this mystery that got people talking. And then there's hustle hacking, which is just find out where the camera is already pointing and go stand there. This story is hustle hacking in its purest form. His team knew the Batman movie was filming in Hong Kong, and it was going to be a media circus. So what did they do? They created a story the press couldn't resist. Stormtroopers show up to take on Batman. The result? Front page news all over Asia. They didn't pay for press, they literally became the news. Okay, so that kind of hustle is amazing on a local level, but how do you take that same energy and just blow it up to reach millions of people? Well, that brings us to the next part of the strategy for reaching a much, much bigger audience. So now we're going to look at 2 of the most powerful amplifiers out there, getting really good at social media and totally hacking public relations. You know, Simon has this incredible formula for social media, and he uses a great analogy. Imagine you walk into a pub. You wouldn't just jump on a table and scream, "Buy my stuff," right? You'd get kicked out. Instead, you'd try to connect with people, you'd teach them something cool, make them laugh, or share a story that connects on an emotional level. Social media is exactly the same. And that's where this classic marketing line comes in. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. It's the engine behind all that stuff. Stop talking about product features. Start talking about the feeling, the result, the transformation. People share things because of how it makes them feel, not because they saw a sales pitch. And this exact same shift in thinking works for PR too. The old way was basically begging journalists to write about you. The new way, the much smarter way, is called newsjacking. It's the art of finding a story that's already blowing up and figuring out a clever way to insert your brand right into it. And check this out. It's a perfect example. The media was going crazy over this weird story about a historic staircase in London being sold. Simon realized the next question everyone was going to ask was, well, who bought it? So he bought it. He didn't spend a dime on advertising, but by buying an asset, he became the next chapter of the story and got a ton of free publicity. So you've got hustle, you've got social media, you've got PR, all these amazing tactics. But they're kind of useless, they can even backfire, without the one single critical thing that holds it all together, the glue. And that glue is your brand. It's your purpose. It's your why. Without a strong brand, all your hustle tactics just feel random. Your clever PR stunts might get attention, but for all the wrong reasons. Your brand is the compass that makes sure every single thing you do is pointing in the right direction. And Simon really hammers this point home. In today's world, brands are built on real human connection. People don't connect with a logo. They connect with the person behind the logo. Your personality, your story, your beliefs. That is the brand. So that personal connection, that's how you build the most valuable thing in all of marketing, trust. And the way you build trust, according to Simon, is by giving, by helping people, teaching people, providing value with zero expectation of getting anything back right away. That generosity builds incredible loyalty, so when you finally have something to sell, people are actually excited to support you.
And really, this is the end game. This is what it's all about. A business just sells a thing, but a brand stands for something. A trusted brand can launch new products, build an army of fans, and create value that goes way beyond a single sale. That's what's scalable.
Okay, so we have covered a ton of ground here. Let's boil it all down. What are the key things you absolutely have to walk away with?
It really comes down to these 4 things. First, change your mindset. It's about giving, not spending. Second, use clever, low-cost tactics to get seen. Third, build everything on the foundation of a strong, personal brand built on trust. And last, just be persistent. Simon calls it compound marketing. All those little actions add up over time, and that's how you get lucky.
So, we're going to leave you with that challenge. Because when you can't spend money, you're forced to get creative. You're forced to focus on what actually provides value. You're forced to remember what marketing really is. It's not about what your budget can buy, it's about what your generosity and creativity can build.